Hello everybody, welcome to this session. And if you were here for my session earlier, thank you for coming back. We're going to be getting far deeper into some of the things that are going to help you improve your business in this year and beyond with this session. We're here to discuss navigating new horizons, the future of commerce, and there's three brilliant panelists who you'll get introduced to very, very shortly who'll be taking us through all the answers to that. First off, though, my name's Chloe Thomas. I am a podcast host. So if this voice sounds familiar, that is why. I host the e-commerce master plan and keep optimizing podcast. I'm also a top LinkedIn retail voice as well. So I get to ask the questions in this session. I'm very looking forward to grilling our three panelists as we go through this. I'm going to stay standing because I'm too short to get onto that chair without falling off it again. So if things go really badly, I will try and get on the stool just to give you all a cheap laugh. But we're not going to do that. More importantly, we're here with Deepak from Shopline, and after this session, because we don't have time for Q&A, but if you've got questions for the panel, follow the green carpet road that goes up there past the networking bar, and you'll get to the Shopline stand. And when you get to the Shopline stand, there are three very important things you want to do, apart from ask these lovely people questions. Firstly, you want to get yourself a copy of my book, E-commerce Master Plan, which is there. E-commerce marketing. Can't even remember my own book name. Sorry, Deepak. You get a copy of my book there, which is what I mentioned earlier. And then secondly, you can pick up a ticket to Shopline's brilliant event that's happening in just 2 weeks' time now, that's called Reimagine in London. You definitely want to be there. And then thirdly, if you want a demo to find out more about Shopline, you can do that at the stand as well. So follow the green carpet road to get there. That's far enough of an intro. Let's meet our panelists. Deepak, I've name-checked you several times, so please let the audience know who you are and your role at Shopline.
My name is Deepak. I'm not the top voice on LinkedIn, but I am the GM for Shopline, e-commerce platform. And if you have heard of Shopify, otherwise you can follow Shopify, Centra, and you don't hate them, you can go to Shopline as well. So I think that's also that. If you can carry some beers when you're going to the stand, that would be helpful. That saves my cost to get you all beers. So this is Deepak, okay?
Brilliant. Nora.
Hi, my name is Nora. Good to be back here, second year running. I love seeing so many familiar faces. I run the marketing for TikTok Shop UK. We're going to talk more about social commerce, I believe, and I'll delve into, but I believe, TikTok doesn't require an introduction, so it's our marketplace and e-commerce division that is growing really quickly.
Given we're looking at new horizons and the future of commerce, I think not talking about social commerce would be very weird. Robert, though, please let the audience know a bit more about yourself and your business.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Robert. I'm a Chief Operations Officer for Fiverr London, trading as everything5pounds.com. And for those of you who have not noticed us for the last 14 years, we actually clear high street retailers out of stock they don't want, whether it's a cancellation or last season stock. We will then debrand the stock and present it to you shot on beautiful models, so you can buy it for a fixed price, and the price was constant at £5 over the last 14 years. We've been the challengers for the last 14 years, and I believe the first ones that introduced the model. And yes, for those of you who are our customers, why are you not buying more? But to others, please give us a chance. And thank you very much for coming to hear us. I know it's a very busy event. Excited to be here. Thank you.
So we've got loads to talk about just from the intros, but I want to kind of pose a tough question to the three of you now. I want you to try and drill in. What do you think is the key new horizon in e-commerce? There's like 1,000,001 things on our horizon. I mean, literally in front of us right now, there's 1,000,001 things we could be thinking of doing. What do you think is the key challenge, the key opportunity on the horizon that an e-commerce business should be tackling? Nora, I'm going to guess what your answer will be, so I'll come to you first and then we'll go to the gentleman.
Yeah, naturally social commerce. We recently released the report with Retail Economics, where it was reported that globally the business opportunity for social commerce stands at 64 billion by 2028, and in the UK alone 16 billion. So it's huge. We're obviously the leaders, and the whole idea is obviously, and you probably will hear more and more, it's being referred as video commerce or content commerce. Essentially, what we offer is a marketplace model where sellers, various sizes, from enterprises, founder-led, sole traders, Etsy-type brands, come and open the shop with us, upload their product catalog, start producing content which is shoppable. There is variety types of content where you can buy. And then they also can engage with our creators community who sell and help them get acquisition of new customers and sell their products for affiliate fee. That's essentially the model. And the idea is that on our app, it's a one and only closed loop solution, because when consumer and customer buys, he or she doesn't leave the platform. It's integrated within the platform. So if tap, 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 or click, 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 you don't go externally to any third party for checkout. You buy on the platform. And essentially, the different points is the consumers who come on our platform are very engaged because they are there to consume various types of content. So they naturally shopping elements through scrolling the different types of content, some which is intertwined between being shoppable or not, makes the journey quite interesting. And psychologically, consumers really delve into this type of shopping in a very, very different, would say, set of mind. It's not a functional shopping where you need, say, a bin and you go to a certain marketplace and you buy based on search and review results. You come to get entertained by your favorite creator, by your favorite brand, or by your favorite type of content, essentially.
So you're giving us there marketplaces, social commerce, consumer behavior changes, all these things we're challenged with right now. Deepak, what would your key?
I think definitely I would say social commerce is one of the aspects, and also what we have seen over the last 2 years I've been with Shopline is that the retailers started realizing that they need to go back to their base, which is selling products rather than becoming a technology company. I think that's where the miss happened, and this is where most of the retailers are struggling, is because of they thought that they are a technology company rather than a retailer. And we have seen more and more coming into that retailers started thinking about they need to think about why they existed and what do they do, which is sell products rather than sell technology. So that's going to make a massive change in the next 5 years.
I think it builds into that whole thing of everyone trying to really drill down to what they should be doing rather than trying to do all this stuff that they're not necessarily needing to do. And an e-commerce business does not need to be tech specialists, do they? They need to be selling specialists.
Absolutely. I mean, the reason is that because there are a number of factors goes into that when they get excited with Mac and they get excited with so many other elements. But think about this thing, why you really exist. And I think we have seen more and more. I mean, social commerce is definitely there because we've just realized that like the kids who were born at the age of like in 2000, now they have a credit card. They're spending 4 or 5 hours on TikTok. And even my son has a TikTok shop. He's 3.5 years old. And he's selling his Peppa Pig on TikTok shop, which is amazing. If you have kids, please buy from that shop. But again, I mean, re-commerce is another one, right? I've got a good friend who's sitting just in front of me from Mulberry. So re-commerce, we started working together on that. That would be an interesting one to see how re-commerce takes off in the next few years more.
It's definitely a space where there's a lot of different business models being explored, especially for brands, but there's not really a winning business model yet, is there? Which vaguely brings us on to what you do. I know you're not selling second-hand clothes, but you're selling those overstocks that people have. So what's the key thing on the horizon that's got you focused at the moment?
Well, first of all, I think we've got a theme emerging here, and the theme is hard to ignore. It's providing convenience. I think we are ultimately, lazy species. We want to conserve our energy, so to prioritize survival. Therefore, TikTok is perfect because it does provide you with the convenience of having so many different things in one place under your thumb. And you're doing it very, very greatly. Shopline, of course, Deepak mentioned that as a retailer, you're not a tech business. We are 14 years old, and I remember when we first started, we are fascinated fascinated by all the opportunities that are in front of us and how we can actually implement the systems and what features are needed and where they take the business. But we've never done it before. That was a first-time experience, and we felt more like cowboys swinging the lassos rather than professionals. So yes, we were in the tech business, and a platform like Shopline actually enables expansion of your markets and channels out of the box, which, if you remember, is much different to what the picture was just a few years ago. So we've got convenience for the social media consumer from TikTok, we've got convenience for retailer, and then we, as a retailer, we provide convenience to the consumer by scouring the market for very good deals and then presenting them on one page at one fixed price. So the trend, I think, and this trend is glaring us in the face for the longest time. I think the trend will be who can provide the best experience that tops your previous experience while being convenient. Because yes, in UK, a very advanced market, we are all spoiled and we always expect the deal to be better than our last one, and our experience being better than the last one as well. How do you top it as a retailer, a platform provider or a technology provider? I don't know, but we need to think from the consumer's perspective and kind of chime into that.
I love the fact you use the word convenience so many times throughout that, because I think it ties into what Nora was saying about the benefits of social commerce for the consumer, is that convenience of it all being on the one platform. And then also what Deepak was saying, a lot of what Deepak was saying was around convenience for the e-commerce team, not having to be tech specialists, but they can just conveniently focus on the key stuff, not be, a coding genius or an implementation genius. But building on that convenience piece, you're also saying about, getting the website to perform well. And it strikes me that, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we were going, Amazon's the one who's raising the bar on customer experience. And it feels like now almost social commerce is almost the one that's rising the bar and creating that. If you think brands are being asked to deliver more content, to be more open with their customers, to add more UGC, they're almost trying to become their own social commerce piece. So how do you tackle that customer experience need, Deepak? How do we tackle that as we go forwards? Because it's far beyond what traditional e-commerce has been. It's not like racing with Amazon to create a better delivery package. It's a bit more than that, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, so the way we work with the retailers is to provide them the insights of what consumers are looking for, right? The most important one, as I said, going back into the thing, why you exist, who are your customers, do you know about them, do you have their insight, what exactly they are looking for. So we provide that level of insight through our content data platform, which is a part of the Shopline commerce platform. So we give the retailers the insight so that they can make better ROI marketing decision, so that they can connect with their customers on a one-to-one basis. So we actually created a term in the office when you come to we call it human commerce, that every single retailer is a human, not a merchant for us. We don't sign a merchant contract, we sign a contract with a person. So we always talk about that. Are you thinking that your consumer is just a number in your balance sheet or in your analytics, or is it really you know them really well in terms of what exactly they're looking for, what time they're buying the product? So do you have that data, or are you using millions of apps to get that data that will slow your system down, and then the experience would be terrible? So it all depends on who you want to be. So this is how we help. Robert can answer it better.
Can I just comment? What Deepak said highlighted the fact that we are analog creatures and we are living in a digital world, and there's obviously a clash. My background, my education is in music, and I always preferred the older equipment like 4-track and amps that have lamps, because the sound was much warmer rather than quantized track that drums into your ears, and it's just almost too perfect to enjoy. So yeah, the human connection is the other aspect in the era where we are all just buried in our phones. So from the retailer perspective, how do we convey this message that we actually not only care for your wallet, but we care for you and we want to deliver value. So, you know, getting 5 quid of someone is one thing, but I guess making them feel better because they want the treasure hunt for the latest piece with, you know, something that they couldn't get at the price point or at all online is the other thing. And we actually are only successful for so long because we managed to create a vast community that started on Facebook all those 14 years ago, and the community started being our ambassadors. So one more pointer is actually we have to remember to be human and not let ourselves getting pixelated.
I want to jump us on to another topic, which I think I would assume an awful lot of you in the room are dealing with at the moment, which is this kind of profit rush in the industry, this shift from growth at all costs and volume over everything else to driving more profit into our businesses, which potentially includes re-commerce, includes happier customers, includes lifetime value and all these good things. Is this something you're seeing any interesting responses to? Have you got any advice for the audience on how we deal with that shift from we're going to do everything and we don't care about the losses to we have to shift to profit? And Nora, I'll come to you first on this one. We're going to need relatively quick answers because time is flying by.
I know. Well, quick. Obviously, we are 3 years old. So so we are the startup of a big multi-billion-dollar company, but we're very startup here at the UK. We're 3 years old, scaling and growing triple numbers, but obviously not at all costs. Whereas the investment comes from the business, we are very conscious. We are which actually empowers teams to be really creative of how we do things. You know, it's not about buying at scale. It's about how can we deliver times 3 or times X faster, quicker, through amazing talents, through amazing partnerships, through amazing growth of our communities, which is organic on our platforms and so on. So it's really, I wouldn't say, there is obviously the pressure to perform as a business. And, you know, we are very quite conscious, you know, how we activate investments required for that, I would say.
I think that's rules to live by, isn't it? How can we take this constraint and help it make us more creative and do more and get more out of it by focusing on the right things? Deepak, are you finding people are coming to you looking for that?
I'll only say that how we work with our merchant is that we do not charge any merchant until they go live. So this is the reason why we do that is because we are vested in the merchant success so that they can make money. And when you make money, or the merchants, only then we make money. So this is how we work with them on the profitability, because they can start. I've been involved in some of the projects where they never go live, and they're in a contract, they have to pay. So we never actually sign any contract until you go live. Once you go live, you start paying Shopline. So this is how we work with you, and we want to be your partner rather than just thinking about signing a contract and you are one in millions of customers I have. So, and also Robert, you can talk about the same thing. How many times you call me every day?
Well, what you've said is quite correct and true and fair. We have not paid while implementing, and of course, you know, any tech project has hiccups, so we didn't go on live when we thought, and Deepak was very understanding and allowed us more room and was patient. But the point that I wanted to make on the actual validity of the business and profitability when thinking about revenue is like those two things are not the same. So it's okay to lose your profit if you want to grow, but that needs to be a clearly defined goal, and all your marketing people need to be aware of unit economics so they do not overshoot the target. The amount of times I talk to marketing departments and they are not aware of unit economics of the business, only going on ROAS, their own ROAS, is just, you know, that the majority of marketing people do not understand true unit economics within the business. So if you run like that, unfortunately, the runway is quite short. and it's always a balance between acquisition and profits. So awareness is key.
Yeah, get hold of those numbers, get the spreadsheets out, people. That's what we're saying. I'm going to come to each of you for your final thought, your takeaway for the audience from this session, because we've covered an awful lot of things very quickly. But before I do that, I've just got to give you all a chance to work out what your final takeaway is going to be. Just want to remind you all that if you follow the green carpet road back towards the back of the room, you will come across the Shopline stand where you can grab yourself, before they run out, a copy of my book, E-Commerce Marketing, to take away, courtesy of the lovely team at Shopline. You can also get yourself a ticket to Shopline's Reimagine event, which is happening here in London in a couple of weeks' time. Full details of that at the event too. I will be hosting a session on B2B e-commerce with a couple of really fascinating retailers at that. And also, you can head up there if you want a demo to find out more about how you could be putting Shopline in place in your business and building your next e-commerce store on their platform. Okay, hopefully that's given you guys enough time to work out some answers. So, Nora, up first. We've got about a minute for each of you.
Just quickly, well, social commerce is very broad and covers various different aspects, from sellers, different sizes, different categories, to creators and communities and how you collaborate. But I really encourage everyone within social commerce or who starts to experimenting, really look into the live showcasing. I just came back from abroad and it's exploding. Today on Piccadilly Circus, on the lights, you will see L'Oreal billboard, which live showcases one of our live showcases. And this is where we see the next big thing is going to happen in the couple of years. So do look into that.
Yeah, I think this might be the Christmas that live shopping takes off in the UK, I suspect. Robert, your final thought or takeaway for the audience, please.
I guess work out your unique selling point, the USP. It cannot be the price. It has to be something else. There needs to be another level. Is it a feeling? Is it a problem that you're solving, or are you allowing someone to access a community that they benefit from? Do not chase the dollar and do not compete on price. That's again a very short runway. And well, there's many more, but I've got a minute. You can find me on LinkedIn. Probably my name is pretty alien, but I believe in you.
Makes you easy to find.
Yeah.
Makes you very easy to find. Deepak, last but definitely not least, what's
so
your
I think the only thing which I'll say is that if you want to be relevant for the next 5 years, come to Reimagine on the 2nd of October.
Short, sweet, and very accurate. All right, well, thank you, everybody. It's been great chatting with you this afternoon.
Thank you.